Whoa, that's a rush, Frenchy. Holy moly. We're gonna need to take a break, folks. Hey everybody, this is Derek Gilman. Welcome to High Rollers. I am thrilled to have at the High Rollers Lounge today a true artisan of his craft, someone who pays attention to every last detail of what goes into making his just absolutely phenomenal product. Happy to welcome to the lounge today, legendary hashishin, hash maker, hash guru, Frenchy Cannoli.
Thank you for having me. Hi everybody.
Frenchy, I am so thrilled to have you here today. Let's start out with your craft and what you do, because there's a lot of concentrates out in the marketplace today, concentrates. And I'd have to say that what you make may not necessarily fall into what most people consider to be concentrates. You're actually making a traditional hash.
In Europe, that's what we really smoke. We have had a strong influence from Northern Africa and the Persian Empire. And we started really to smoke hash when Napoleon came back from Egypt. He stayed 3 years there, and everybody came back smoking hash.
You learned this old world technique, and you actually learned it in these hash producing countries. Tell us a little bit about that adventure that you went on to learn your craft.
I always wanted to travel, since as far as I can remember, I always was tripping on 1001 Nights, Kipling, Lawrence of Arabia, Marco Polo. And as soon as I was 18 years old, I just wanted to travel. And I just started to smoke a year or so before. And when I started to smoke hash, it's like tasting in your mouth and smelling those country, basically.
So where's one of the first places you went off to?
First place were around the Mediterranean Sea, and then it was Morocco.
Now ultimately you traveled to India and you learned your craft.
In India was the first time where actually you collect your resin on a live plant standing in a mountain, and you collect the resin in the palm of your hand.
Now, when you get to India, do you immediately seek out the hash producing areas?
It's like every producing country, you know where the places are. There is only one. It's in a mountain.
Mm-hmm. I imagine it probably took some time to build up the trust, though.
What I do is I stay a long time with those people, because the quality I want, it's the quality you cannot buy. Now with time, I've been thinking of why were they so nice with me? I was so clueless, it's scary. You know what I mean? It's like you're just a rich white kid that come to their place, and it's like in their eyes you're very rich, even if you're really a bum, because of where you're coming from, your education, what you can make happen. Yeah, it's true. You're really beyond anything they could dream of.
And I imagine they saw your passion as well.
To literally live in cave for months to be able to do it yourself.
When you say you literally lived in a cave for months.
Yeah, season after season. Yeah, not really a cave, like more, a hole in a mountain with a kind of made-up structure around it, and a big fireplace, something to keep you warm. Quoi.
Yeah, and I think most people call holes in mountains caves. Yeah. Amazing. So you did this for how many seasons?
7, I think, in a row.
Did the quality of your hash improve from season to season?
No, because the first season I cut my finger to the bone just before starting. Like And the first hospital, like place where you could be, anybody can do something, was like 2 days walk minimum, plus I don't know how many hours of bus. So we smoked a chillum, and I put when you smoke a chillum well, it comes to the white ashes, literally. I put the ashes and I put rolling paper. And that was it. The first year, because I had that finger like this, I had to caress the plant really even more carefully and gently that I would normally use.
How about that?
So I was making really clean stuff, and I picked up that habit of being really super easy on it and never making a sick hand.
Happened as a result of an accident. Okay.
And then we went down the mountain, and when we arrived in a village called Tosh, where it's super well known for the quality of the jungles that grow around, we met a group of French. They invited us to their camp so that and to share their field. And one of the French guys had been going in that valley for 15 years. So like we stayed 3 weeks with the dude. I learned like big time. And we came back from the mountain with like gold. And in India, they judge you on the quality of what you smoke and your chillum. Because of the ash we had, like the wild cannabis, charas made from wild cannabis that grow at like 9,000 feet.
You had some special stuff.
There is nothing like it. I give anything for that.
People wanted to be your friends.
But it's like you receive respect, but I didn't have the chillum. The second year, I went back straight Tosh Naktong to do some jungle. When I came down from the mountain, I stopped in a village. I stayed with some Italian guys a night, and one of the guys was making chillum. We was cooking them, and we smoked the jungles that I had made myself. The stuff is priceless. So it's like that Italian guy in the morning gave me one of the chillum as an appreciation for sharing my charas like that with him. But I didn't still understand really well the status that what I was doing was giving me. You know what I mean? I had no idea. I met a group of Italians and I broke my chillum. To make it, the Italian look at it, they take the chillum from my hand, they say, where did you get that chillum? Like, I stole the fucking... Sorry.
An accusatory, where did you get that chillum?
Like, and I told the guy, I said, that's Italian guy who gave it to me, like, what? Do you know the name of the Italian? Yeah, his name was Renzo. It's like, man, do you know what you have? Yeah, it's an awesome chillum. It's like beyond any high quality chillum made by any Indian.
He was making the connoisseur level chillums.
Something else. Even if you don't know chillum, when you have a Renzo in your hand, you know it's not anything you've seen before. And I had that chillum for 8 years.
How about that? Tell me a little bit more about what you brought in today. I'm sitting here looking at it and I'm getting excited.
I have some sour-D CBD. It's a one-on-one that is very nice for people who like you have the buzz of the sour-D, but without any edginess anymore. And this is like over a year old.
So this was cured flower that you used, right? And then you said the hash itself has also been curing for a year, right? So you have...
But it's aging. It's not curing anymore.
It's just aging.
Because curing, it cannot cure anymore once you press it.
What else did you bring us?
That's bubblegum OG from Mendocino. This is a live resin cherry kush, and this is live resin sour tangerine.
Now I've paid attention. You were mentioning where these came from. You know, this one came from Sonoma. This one came from Mendocino. Which leads me to, to ask something else that I learned from you. That the first time I heard this term, and that's terroir.
It's everything that make that region what it is. You know what I mean?
Whatever the slope is, even within a given region, you could have various, microclimates or terroirs within there.
Then you have the climate, you have the land, and that basically is the life giver, and then you have the climate that is the life shaper. And together, it's the most important part of the terroir. Then you have the genetic and the human factor.
Yeah. As excited as I am to start smoking this stuff, there's just one more detail that I'm just impressed about that you do in this product. When people talk about the ripeness of flowers, the ripeness of trichomes, trichomes go through this maturation cycle. And you have a term for it. You have this dimensions of ripeness that you've termed it. I'd love you to discuss that with me a little.
If you look at a tree and you want the ripest fruit, you go and shake it just a tiny bit. You have the ripest fruit that fall. Then you go and you shake it a tiny bit stronger. And then a tiny bit stronger and stronger and stronger until there is no more fruit on the tree. Every one of those shakes is a dimension of ripeness. Every time I spin my machine, what I collect, it's a slice of the whole ripeness that the plant was giving me. That specific dimension of it. It's like you want that perfectly mature resin head, and all the quality that is given to me, it's because the farmer I have, they wait until perfection.
Yeah. So I'm excited to dive into this hash. Let's start talking about the various ways to smoke hash. So one of the older, more traditional methods was something that you showed us earlier. You mentioned the piece that you need to have to get respect in India.
This is the most ancient tool to smoke hash, Indian chillum. That's the most ancient tool known.
So I'm into the details of the functionality of the tools. I'm into the details of maximizing the pleasure of my experience. So as I'm watching you puff on that spliff over there, is there any kind of technique that you have? The inhalation technique or exhale technique that allows you to get the maximum enjoyment or flavor when you're smoking a spliff joint?
For me, it's mostly the question of flavor. So I like to keep the smoke in my mouth. I like to smoke dry before I light up.
A dry hit before you spark it.
I try to appreciate the moment. And we don't. It's rare when you smoke something and it's like, wow. When it should be like wine. It's like it should be appreciated at every level. It's just because we do it too often that we stop appreciating it, become a habit.
Or maybe we're doing it too fast. I think people need to really kind of slow down, savor, pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to those flavors, pay attention to the experience, the effects.
It works better on your brain. You feel it better. It's like when you do sport, you concentrate on what you're doing. It's better than if you don't. It's the power of awareness of the moment. It's amazing.
Being in the moment, enjoying the consumption experience, not letting the mind drift off to what was going on that day or what's going on tomorrow.
That first instance when you start it, it's a pleasure of smoking what you just prepared. Do
you have any kind of ritual that you go through before you smoke? Anything mentally that you do, or just?
I often dedicate to Shiva.
You dedicate to Shiva?
When I smoke the chillum, yeah, always.
Really?
That was a trip in India because it's it's more, it's part of the culture, but it's part of the religion too. Like cannabis was born in a drop of the elixir of life that fall from the sky when the god and the demon were fighting to make it. So it's like, it's a pretty big deal.
I gotta tell you, Frenchy, I'm anxious to try this out. What should we try first? Should we try this, the Andy Roth three-hole?
Try this, to try the hash in its pure form, and then let's smoke your chillum.
Let's do it. I love it. So is there anything I need to know about this? Is there's no carb on this rascal?
You don't need to carb, just I need to get
Is that about
warmer.
a single hit in there?
It's going to be a long hit. It looks like little, but it's going to take a minute. Okay?
That's special stuff. That stuff went right to my head, Frenchy. It's nice. It's nice.
But it's like there is a lot of that wellness feeling that come with it, like
this is it's a comforting one.
Warming.
It's not a high energy. It's a nice comforting one. Well selected. Now, what is it specifically about the three-hole pipe? Three-hole bowl that you find most appealing or to add to the experience? What does it do?
It just tastes perfect.
You just know from it just tastes better. Yeah. I think you're going to help me try out this this chillum that I got. I'm embarrassed to say I've had this for a year now, Frenchy, and
wow.
I haven't had the nerve.
I was wondering, how do you get that one?
I contacted. So this is from Luca.
Bonghaus.
Yeah, Bonghaus. Luca makes these out of Italy. I saw a post on Instagram that Leo had put up.
Okay, that's why I know this chillum. Okay.
Yeah, you were traveling with him over there about a year ago in Spain doing Spanibus, right? He puts this post up and just says this guy is the craftsman, be all craftsman. He's making, the best chillums, and that's effectively how Leo had talked it up on this Instagram post. And I knew I had to have it. So,
and this one
please
is
do the
even
honors
more
here.
special.
Please do the honors here. Show me how this thing works. Break this thing in.
The beauty with the chillum, it's like the inside. Look at how perfectly smooth it is. But at the same time, it's porous. That means that it's going to absorb slowly the resin. And it makes for a better smoke. And the longer the chillum, the cooler the smoke at the end. And the longer the stone, also it cools the smoke. And it makes that oil seeping from the resin not come down to your mouth, you know what I mean? And it doesn't, because of that absorption, there is a taste that you cannot duplicate if you do use glass or any other type of material. There is nothing like the clay.
This is going to get better over time.
It change color and it get a patina, and when they get too dirty, too old, you put them in a fire,
Okay.
in a coal, and they're gonna get back, come out like brand new.
That's beautiful. I'm so excited.
Okay.
And I'm so happy that your hash is going to be the first to begin the process of maturing this
No,
piece.
Lucas is a master. He really. I burn the tobacco to make it as dry as possible.
So you're breaking up some tobacco
Some
there.
of the tobacco, you see, I put a lot of ash. The tobacco is really to make the ash burn.
Remind me, which hash is this now?
That's sour tangerine.
This is sour tangerine. Where was this resin collected from?
That's collected in Spy Rock. It's
Spy Rock.
Over Laytonville, and it's a clone only to the market, kind of.
Hey, you're handing this thing to me. I'm going to need you to show me how this whole thing goes down.
So basically, you don't want to put your mouth directly on the material. The material is a thin cotton, a little weight to cool down further the smoke. And so you basically, you have there is many options. The simplest one, it's to make a little circle with your finger.
Okay. So your lips don't go directly to it. You just make a little buffer between
That's
a little.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it. It's a lot of smoke coming at one time. That's the beauty. That's the beauty.
Can I watch you go first?
You want me to light it for you?
I want to light it for you. I want to see. All right.
It's gonna be. This one is too powerful.
That looks very intense.
It makes a lot of smoke, as I was saying. Voilà. They have been smoking chillum for thousands of years in India. And you don't realize how much smoke actually is coming in your lungs.
Hold that, please.
It takes a minute to get the...
Now I see why you were making that face. Whoa, that's a rush, Frenchy. Holy moly. Wow. That's intense. You went for a second. No. I mean, I'm sorry, not yet. I'm still acclimating to this. Wow.
Anybody want to try?
Holy moly. We're gonna need to take a break, folks. That was an extremely intense hit. Let me acclimate to the experience. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, it's good to be back. It's good to have taken a moment of recovery. That chillum experience that Frenchy turned me onto was heavy duty. I went on a magic carpet ride there for a little while, Frenchy. But now that we're back, there's something that I wanted to go back to when we talked about how to evaluate quality. you've actually adopted a well-established system from the wine industry, right?
So by chance, I picked up a study made in Australia over 100 plus people, from connoisseur to I have never drink wine in my life. And they asked them about what is quality for them. What are all those little parts and pieces that create that quality experience at the end?
To quantify it, to add, to actually assign a score to various areas. I mean, you've broke it up into categories, right? You assign a score of anywhere from 0 to 5
yeah.
for each of your categories, right? And it looks like you've double valued the weight to melt category. So
the melt category, it's a quarter of the 200 point. It's 50 point.
okay.
So it's important. But then after, because it's an experience, it's a degustative experience. So now let's quantify quality through the experience. Because it's not only the buzz at the end of the day, it's what bring you there. It's taken into account.
Next, you have appearance.
So appearance, then it's I have a problem with appearance, because what is good for me is not good for the neighbor. So it's like that's pretty controversial, and I almost didn't put it, but I had to. Because for me, appearance is how does it look as unpressed, and how does it look once you press it.
Bouquet.
And then how does it smell before you smoke it? How does it smell in your hand, in your container, whatever you, if you like it loose or not? It's important.
Sure.
Then, in a taste, for me, it's like how does it taste dry, and how does it taste when you smoke it the first time? I didn't separate it, but it's like it's two parts. But it's like you have some terpene profiles that they keep changing in your mouth. You know what I mean?
Layered,
it's trippy. You know what I mean? There is layer of it. It's like for me, it's big when it makes me look for taste and stuff like that. It's something that I'm really enjoying the experience. That's part of quality. So the buzz is into the overall pleasure and uniqueness.
So that's where you put the effects is into overall pleasure.
I didn't really want to judge the effect, because for me it's secondary, but for a lot of people they want to know about it. So that overall pleasure, it's more than that sensory experience that you have. It's that sensation of wellness that is taking.
Did it feel good? Did it feel good? Did it not feel good? Yeah.
And the uniqueness of the experience. It's like I like to smoke stuff that don't remind me of something. Then I'm really interested.
I hear that a lot from judges of the competitions, you know, the Emerald Cup judges, the Golden Tarp. It's uniqueness more than anything else that they look for.
But this is not something that I would give for people to score me. That's something I want to give to the people who are buying my hash, so that they know what it is. For people in the industry, that we use whatever framework, but we need to create a scoring system in any case for the flower and for the hash and for concentrate, so that we can face legalization and a legal market and have a base to rely on, because we don't even have the same vocabulary, which is really sad.
For people to appreciate quality, they need to be able to recognize it. And I think to qualify it and quantify it in the way you have is a great beginning. I love this resin quality scoring sheet you put together, Frenchy.
It's a good beginning. I'd like to make it really sharp, and for that we need a lot of people to agree on stuff that it's not very evident in this industry.
Sure. Frenchy, it's been a great time today. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks to you.
Yeah. Hey, do you have any final words?
Yeah, actually, there is a big disconnect between the farmer and everybody else in the industry. And everything we have, everything you see I made, it's because of the farmer, because of the land, and because of the genetics. Sorry, I'm gonna fucking cry on camera. This is what we should really be careful to protect and nurture. It's our small farmer, and it's all the West Coast. It's not only the Emerald Triangle. But this is like, if we want to be relevant in the cannabis industry worldwide, this is a legacy we have, and it would be really stupid to miss it.
That was real heartfelt. Thanks, Frenchy. I want you to know the reason we're doing High Rollers is to learn about the world of connoisseurship, to understand the difference between quality and everything else that's out there, and it's the small farmer that's preserving that quality and bringing it to us. And I, for one, appreciate that quality. I have for years, and I want everybody else to learn about it and understand it, learn about the differences. And that's really
I travel the world. What you have up north, it's national treasure. You can build a legacy like the wine industry did in France on the quality of the genetic and the terroir you have up north and on the West Coast. It's like there is a window of opportunity that the cannabis industry have. You can become the Bordeaux and the France and Champagne of the cannabis industry. You can be relevant in hundreds of years. But the future, if you really want to be relevant, it's really by protecting and nurturing the legacy and the treasure that is available to you in up north.
Frenchy, you're my hero. You're my hero, man. Thank you. Thanks again for coming in today. Thanks for joining High Rollers, everybody. I'm Derek Gelman. Until next time.